right, so for our notes today, this should be number 13. Let's number that, number 13. All right, and originally we were going to do this on Monday, so if we can mark that out. Today is not Monday. Today is definitely Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, so this is going to be number 13 on Wednesday. All right, so today what we're going to be working on is we're going to be working on something called compound shapes. Another way that you'll hear this called is they might call them composite. Composite shapes. The word compound and the word composite are words actually that we hear outside of math. Grammar for one, like y'all I'm sure have talked about compound sentences this year. It's where you take two complete sentences and put them together. All right, so like I went to the park and I went to the store. I went to the park is a sentence. I went to the store is a sentence. All right, so compound lets us put two things together. So when I'm talking about a compound shape, that means we have two shapes that we're putting together to make one different shape. Composite, guys, if something is a composite material, that means it's a material that's made of a bunch of different things. So like there are some composite metals where we might have aluminum and copper that are mixed together. All right, so that to form a new metal, it's a composite metal. Like for instance, my house is made of a composite wood. It's not a type of wood you can go and cut down off a tree. All right, it's taking a bunch of different woods and putting them together to form what's on the side of our house. All right, so composite also means we're taking two things and putting them together. We're taking stuff and putting it together. Now, it could be more than two. We'll look at some of those in the checkpoint tomorrow. All right. But for right now, our goal is composite shape. We have two things we're putting together. What operation lets me put stuff together? What operation lets me put stuff together? Haley? Addition. So when we're doing these problems, I'm going to put a little star. We are going to add. So please remember, if it's shaded, that's when we're doing our subtraction because we're taking a piece out. Here we're wanting to put it together, so we should be adding. All right, we're going to start off by looking at number 1. All right, so for number 1, all right, if I look at this, some people look at this and want to say it was a trapezoid. How many sides does this shape have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guys, it has 5 shapes. That is not a trapezoid if it has 5 sides, all right? Now, do we have a formula that tells us how to find the shape, the area of a 5-sided shape of a pentagon? No. All right, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to split this up into shapes that we do know. Raise your hand if you think you can go up to the front and show me where to split it. Kira? Right here. Right, excellent. So here is saying that I can split it right there. Okay. All right. So when I split it there, we can see that we have now a rectangular shape or a square shape and a triangle. So guys, what we're going to do, because again, before we work the problem, we want to label so that we know which one is which. Yes, Ethan?
I don't know, but there's another way you can split it.
We can split it directly across the center and form two trapezoids. All right. Which one's easier, a rectangle and a triangle or two trapezoids?
Rectangle and triangle.
The rectangle and triangle. No, absolutely. No, I love where your brain is, Ethan. That's an excellent observation because there are multiple ways to do most of these. We just want to pick the easiest. Absolutely. We're going to keep our math as easy as possible. So I'm going to let this square be my shape 1. And I'm going to let this triangle be shape 2. Okay, so shape 1 and shape 2. All right, so let's start off. We're going to label shape 1 when we work it. So there's shape 1. All right, what formula am I going to use to work shape 1? Braxton? Area equals base times height. And on that shape 1, what are my base and my height of shape 1? Brian?
Base is 4 and the height is 4.
Base is 4 and the height is 4. So what is my area there going to be, guys? 16 meters squared. All right, so now let's look at shape 2. For shape 2, what is my formula for shape 2? Kira?
Area equals base times height divided by 2.
Area equals base times height divided by 2. And Chloe, what is the base of shape 2? All right, so 2 meters is tempting because it is down here at the bottom. But if I look at that 2, it's measuring from the bottom to the top. So that's more of the height. 4. All right, and guys, it's very important. If I think about shape 1, I'm going to go back and look at shape 1 for a moment. The left side of that square, doesn't it have to match the right side? So I know from looking at that this side right here is also 4 meters. So that's where I'm getting that base. Okay, so my base is 4. And then what is the height, Chloe? 2. Because that's what's going to the tip. Whenever you're looking at triangles, we want to make sure our height goes all the way to the tip, to the point. Okay? All right, and then we got to divide by 2. So 4 times 2 is? 8. Divided by 2 is? 4. So I get 4 meters squared. All right, now please remember our goal is not just to have 1 and 2. Our goal originally was this entire shape that kind of looks like a pencil, like a really fat pencil. So what am I going to need to do? We have 1 and 2. What am I going to need to do to get that entire yellow shape? Allie Claire. This is when we're going to add those together. So we're going to take our 16 from shape 1, and we're going to take our 4 from shape 2 and add them. And when I add them, what does that give me, Ethan? 20 what? Meters squared. M squared, meter squared, whatever. I'm okay with that. All right. As long as we don't call them miles, we're good. All right. Number 2. Ethan, right up here and tell me where to split.
You could either do it this way or that way. They'll both be the same shape. So.
Okay. So very good. So Ethan said I can split it here or I can split it here. Now what I like to think of is which one gives me the best measurements. If I split it right here, do I know my base, either of those measurements?
Oh, so you would do it the first one I showed you.
So that better one was the first choice that you showed, correct. So this is going to be the better choice because that gives me both of my sides, and down here I have both of my sides. Do y'all see how we chose that? Okay. Guys, there's actually one more way we could split it. Again, we want to choose the easiest. What's the other method that I could do? Caleb Fox?
3 squares?
We don't want to do 3 squares because that's going to be, technically we could do 3, all right, but so there's a 4th way we can do it, all right? We could do 3 squares. There's a 4th way. Liam?
Split it right down the middle.
What?
What? Come show me up on the board. Yes, right. So we're going to go down from corner to corner, and that would form 2 trapezoids. Now, again, we want to do what's easiest, what's easier, 2 rectangles or 2 trapezoids.
So we can
Rectangles. Yes. All right. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to pick this as shape 1. All right, and then I'm going to pick that larger rectangle as shape 2. All right, and I'm going to label my work as always. So labeling my work for shape 1. What is my formula for shape 1? Haley?
Area equals base times height.
Area equals base times height. All right, Ethan, you've been doing really good. Let's not start that now. All right, what is my base and height for this problem? Allie Claire?
6 and 6.
6 times 6. And so my area is 36 inches squared. All right, what is my formula for shape 2? What is my formula for shape 2? Nick? Area equals base times height. And Morgan, what is my base and height for that shape?
12 and 6.
12 and 6. Okay. So my area is 72 inches squared. Okay. So remember, when we're doing these problems, our goal isn't just those separate shapes. We want to find the entire area of that entire original shape, which is now in yellow. All right, so what am I going to do to find that area of the entire original shape? Josue? Add them up. So we get 36 plus 72. What is my answer going to be here, Sophia?
108 inches squared.
108 inches squared. Okay. Excellent. All right, let's move down. We're going to do number 4. We're going to look at number 4. We're going to skip number 3 because it's worked out the same way. Okay. So let's look at number 4. For number 4, where am I going to split it, Taylor? Yeah, I agree. So that's probably going to be the best place on number 4 is just going across there, which forms our triangle on top. I'm going to let that be shape 1. All right, and then I'm going to let my rectangle on the bottom be shape 2. All right, so for shape 1, when I'm looking at shape 1, what is my formula going to be for shape 1? Ellie?
Area equals base times height divided by 2.
Very good. All right, what is the base? Now this triangle's a little tricky. What is my base going to be here? What is my base? Carson.
14.
All right, how did you get 14? Because 14 is not listed on here anywhere. So where did you get 14 from?
The 2 to the left, the 3 to the left, and the 3 to the right, and then the 8 down bottom. Yeah,
Okay, so he's saying in order to get this entire length, we have this piece is 3, this piece is 3, and he was able to fill in that missing piece because we know the bottom of a rectangle and the top have to match. So once I put 3, 8, and 3 together to give me the entire length, he got 14 feet for the base of that triangle. Ethan. Okay. Questions on where we got 14 from? Any questions about where we got 14? Okay. So my base is 14. What is the height of that triangle going to be? Ethan? 12. And then we have divided by 2. So 14 times 12 divided by 2, we work that out. What do we get? Allie Claire?
I forgot.
Taylor? Double check your math. Double check that. 14. Make sure it's 14 times 12 divided by 2. All right, Allie Claire, go ahead.
84 feet squared.
84 feet squared. All right, so now let's look at shape 2. What's my formula going to be for shape 2, Julia? Julie, sorry. For shape A equals BH, and I had forgotten to put that 2 there. So we get A equals BH. What is the base and the height of that shape? Caleb? 8 feet and 8 feet. So when I multiply 8 times 8, that gives me 64 feet squared. All right, and again, when I'm doing this problem, I'm looking for that entire shape. So we found them separately, but now I want to be able to tell the entire area for that house shape. All right, so what am I going to do to find that entire area? Abby Faith? Add them up. So we get 84 plus 64. And what is that going to give me for my final answer on this one, Ledger? 148 feet squared. Okay, excellent. All right, the last one that I want us to talk about today is number 8. So again, we see 5 and 6 are like what we did on number 2. Number 7 looks a lot like we did on number 1. So let's look at number 8. Number 8. Number 4 was 148 feet squared. All right. Number 8. Does anyone notice anything about number 8, Gosser? It's a trapezoid. It's a trapezoid. So we have options here. We can just do a trapezoid, or I can split it up. All right? Before I do anything, there's something else that's important about this shape. Braxton? Alright, so it's a trapezoid, or we can split it. Alright? The best thing, guys, is it easier to do one shape or two shapes?
One shape.
It's going to be easier to do one shape. It's going to be less work to do one shape. Right? The better option is going to be to do one shape. Guys, we're going to do both of them, okay? So let's breathe. We're going to do it both ways just to show you that it is better to do the one trapezoid. Alright? But there's a bigger issue here. We have all of my side measurements, but do y'all see, does this 8 tell me any of the sides?
No.
No. If I split it, it's going to help me with the height of the triangle. But if I split it, even if I split it, guys, even if I split it, I'm going to need to know this measurement, because that's going to be part of the rectangle down here. Alright? I'm going to need to know it if I do a trapezoid, because that's the other base. So are there any ideas on how I could find that missing side? Liam? Alright, so we can't. You're about to be in the hallway, okay? I want you to participate, but not when we're having other discussions. Alright, we can't actually just split this in half because it doesn't tell me that's halfway. So, good idea in theory, but it's not going to work because we don't have those little lines saying it's equal. What's another idea, Allie Claire?
You could take the 8, since it shows from the end of the base to the tip of the shape. You can take it and subtract it from 18, and it would give you 10.
Very good. So, Allie Claire was just saying that this 8 goes from this end all the way to the end of the bottom base. Guys, if I take that 8 away from 18, aren't I just going to be left with that missing piece right there? Alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly what Allie Claire said. 18 minus 8. If I take that piece off, that's going to leave me with that top measurement, which ends up being 10 centimeters. Now remember, yesterday we saw, just because it looks square, can we automatically put that it's a square? No. So you still want to make sure you're doing that calculation because it's not always going to work out like that. Alright? So now we're going to do this area as a trapezoid because I promise you it's going to be shorter. Alright, so if I just do this as a trapezoid, I'm going to write trapezoid so I know I'm not splitting it. For a trapezoid, my area formula is A equals B1 plus B2 times the height divided by 2. What are my two bases on that trapezoid? Ethan?
18, 10.
18 plus 10. And what is the height?
10.
10. Okay? So when I do that, 18 plus 10 is 28. Divided by 2 is 14 times 10. 140 centimeters squared. Okay? So that would be if I did the entire shape. So for my entire shape, there's my answer. Trapezoid 140. All right? My other option, again, was to split that up. We can split that up, and we'll do shape 1 right here. All right? So for shape 1, that's going to be area equals base times height, right? So what are my base and height on that pink shape? 10 times 10, which gives me 100 centimeters squared. All right, so then my second shape is going to have to be that triangle. So that's going to be shape 2. Ledger?
Couldn't you do it two other ways? Yeah, could you do it as two triangles?
All right, we cannot split it right here because we have no way of knowing that that's going to be a right angle.
Why? Wait, what?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, you could, yes. Woo. We can split it right here because we have that base and we have the height. So we could do it as two triangles as well.
And would you be able to do it as a triangle and a trapezoid?
Ethan, where would you split it to get... okay, so let's just pause real quick. Why would I do a triangle and a trapezoid if I already just have a trapezoid? All right? So at this point, we're getting to be where we're trying to split things too much. I love where our heads are at. All right, but let's try to keep this simple, okay? Let's try to keep this simple. So from here, when I calculate it, base times height, the base of this triangle is 10 times 8 divided by 2. 10 times 8 is 80, divided by 2 is 40. Guys, what do you notice when I put 140 together? I get 140. Do y'all see this work versus this work? Which one was shorter? The trapezoid. All right, either way, you're going to get 140 centimeters squared. All right, for my folks, like we're thinking of all these different ways that we can split it up. Guys, try it out. You know what the answer is supposed to be. Split it up that way, work it out, see if you get the same answer. That's an excellent way to practice these on just the same problem. You know what the answer is? Try splitting it different ways. All right? Your homework for tonight is going to be on the back. All right, 1 through 9 on the back. One through 9 on the back. No, we're not going to finish tomorrow. So your homework 1 through 9 on the back. Let's go ahead and get going. Remember.